Hey guys, Austin Hilton here with an update. This is a stock I covered a week or two ago, plus video did really well. Wanted to come back and talk about Nano Dimension and how I think that this stock is going to continue to do really well. I think that this stock within the next 12 months is easily a 20 to maybe even 40+% gainer. I think that that is how much you can stand to gain off this stock. It's got a lot of really positive momentum, and I felt like it was time to go back and revisit the stock. Again, this is Nano Dimension. If you're interested in this is an overview of what's going on with the company, some new interesting news that's come out related to them, specifically talk a little bit about and look at some charts and then kind of go from there. But overall, I think this is a very good stock and one that you might want to consider being in. I'm definitely putting some of my own money in it as well because I think there's some definitely strong potential here. And you've got the likes of Kathy Wood with ARK Invest. Obviously, she's put money in there as well. We're going to talk about that and overall go from there. Okay, so with all that said, as always, remember that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and at the end of the day, I would love it if you'd subscribe, become part of the community, and just be here with me. This video and as well as the channel are growing, just doing really well. Everything's doing good, and I would love for you to like the video as well because that helps the video out, this video, as well as the channel, and I appreciate it if you would do it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk about Nano Dimensions and what's kind of going on with them. I've got some notes up here, so if you see me looking down, that's me looking at. Make sure I give you the appropriate information. So what I really want to quickly go over, if you're not familiar with Nano Dimension, their stock symbol is NNDM. Put that on the screen here for you can see that. They are effectively a 3D technology firm. Okay, one thing I like about them is they've got contracts with the defense industry, and overall they're really kind of in the ground floor related to this growing marketplace, which is 3D technology, 3D printing, and everything going on with that. Okay, and right now the stock is trading in the approximate $10.20 range, give or take. That makes it a very affordable stock at this point because I think this stock has a tremendous amount of upside moving forward. I think kind of, short term is probably $13, maybe 6 to 10 months out is probably $6+, and I think beyond that, I'm sorry, $10+. I apologize. Excuse me. It's trading at 10. To adding 6 more, going to 16. It's been a long day. I think that this is a $15 to $20 stock easily within 12 months. I just see it there, and I just think it's got a tremendous amount of room to grow. Okay. So real quickly, I want to kind of look at something that would give you a little bit closer look at this stock. So in early 2020, this stock wasn't really doing much. It was really barely breaking even as far as breaking above $1. It was really struggling in that area. It spiked in May of 2020 when it popped up to about $3.40. But that spike didn't last very long, and it dropped back down into the $1.50 range in September. Okay, so we've got a little obviously volatility, but then it kind of started to really pick up pace, and by the end of 2020, the stock had been pushed up above the $9 range. And then it reached an all-time 52-week high in February 9th, approximately of 1789. So that's our 52-week high right there. And so right now, again, we've dropped back. The stock lost around 50% when the NASDAQ corrected back between February and March. It actually, I believe, was approximately 54%. So the bulk of those gains were lost kind of in that time period. But the stock has rebounded back very nicely. We're going to look at this at the chart here in just a minute. Okay, so let's talk about kind of their overall, the market. Okay, so here is really why I'm interested in the stock and why I wanted to revisit this, because I didn't cover this in my last video. Okay, they are in a rapidly expanding market and industry. Okay, I've got 2 figures I want to throw at you. So the total 3D printed electronics market is going to be worth $2.3 billion by 2029. So the total 3D printed electronics market would be worth $2.3 billion by 2029, as well as the 3D printed electronic market size is expected to reach $592 million in 2024, and then again that $2.4 billion by 2025, give or take. So a little bit of contradictory information, but here's what I want you to walk away from: is that number one, it's a $2+ billion market between 2025 and 2029, depending upon kind of which piece of content or article you want to read. I'm taking it as a simple fact that it's an over $2 billion market. This stock is priced currently at the $10 range, and I think it's a bargain at this price. That's really what I want you to hear me say, as well as they're in the kind of the ground floor of a rapidly expanding market that's just going to continue to be a big market. Okay, now you guys know me. I'm not going to do a real deep technical fundamental analysis dive in this video. It's not what I do. I'm more of I want to bring you new news and let you know kind of what's going on with this company. But really what I would tell you is, if you kind of want to kind of cut through it with this company, is that their technology is one thing I like about is their business. Their technology is kind of reinventing or disrupting the 3D printing market and the overall space. One piece of information that I like that I read was that their technology can go in and can replace a whole room of competitors' technology and do it better, cheaper, faster. And so that's a disruptor. I'm always looking, if I can find a market where a company is disrupting, kind of like Nano and what they're doing, Nano Dimensions, then I'm a fan of that technology. Okay, so their overall financials, they ended 2020 with a strong balance sheet, $671 million in cash, and let's see, and they've strengthened it. Let's see, I apologize. $600 million in cash and bank deposits thanks to equity offerings we concluded during the year. And they've strengthened it over to a balance of nearly $1.5 billion as of the end of February 2021. So they're carrying about $1.5 billion on their balance sheet now in cash, which again positions them to do really well, to have the cash to continue to invest in technology and things like that. I mentioned they have kind of what I call disruptor technology related to their technology is better, cheaper, smaller, faster, all that kind of stuff. They generated revenues of $3.4 million in 2020, and that's impressive for a small company that's addressing a still emerging product category. Remember, this product category is a $2+ billion market by 2025, and they did $3.4 million in 2020. You do the math. There's so much room for opportunity here for them to grow, and this really is a ground floor opportunity, in my belief, at the stock priced in approximately the $10 range. Okay, so with that said, let's do this. Let's go look at their stock chart real quick, and then we'll wrap up from there. Okay, so yeah, this is their stock chart. Right now we're looking at kind of the 1 year time frame. You can see that in 1 year, obviously they've gone up over 1,300%. Back trading in kind of the May time frame, June, July, again, just trading kind of in this, as I mentioned kind of in the previous part of the video, they were really struggling to get above this dollar range, and then effectively by kind of in that May, we had that little spike I mentioned, and then from there, they kind of traded in this, and then September, they just kind of gradually started pushing it up, and then finally were able to kind of make it out of, the $1 to $2 range, okay? And then so from, say, November through to, January, right there, they went up $13. That's a 464% jump, obviously, in just November to January. And then you can kind of see we hit our peaks right here in January 25th, I mentioned earlier. Again, we kind of got close to it there. Our 52-week high was in the $17 range. But then right here, you're seeing really a 54% sell-off as reacting to the NASDAQ sell-off. And then what I like is that from their low of March 5th, which was $7.61, they've come back and already added back in 33%. So they've already gained 33% back. So they picked up more than half of what they lost in this time period. So in just a 5 to 6 day, so from March 5th to, it's longer than that, I apologize. From March 5th to today, March 19th, kind of trading the ended on last Friday. So approximately 14 days, 2 weeks, apologize, a 34% gain back, okay? Again, I think that this is a ground floor opportunity. I can't really stress that enough. I think that this stock, what it's currently trading at, with the overall, with what this technology does, with their, what I'm calling kind of disruptor technology, where they've got a tremendous amount of cash to go invest and continue to make their products better, faster, cheaper, smaller for their customers. They're disrupting by replacing rooms of other people's technology. which makes it effectively, obviously, cheaper for their customers to buy and come on board and then get married and can continue to stay married to Nano Dimension's technology. They're in a emerging market, $3.4 million in sales in the last 2020, and everybody's talking about that this 3D market, this 3D electronic printed market, is a $2+ billion market by 2025 to 2029. So you're getting it right now at $10 approximately. You're getting it on the ground floor. I think that this is, again, a $20 stock, most likely inside of a 12-month plus time frame. It's already bounced up and shown that it can get into the $16 to $15 range. So cut my number in half. Say, hey, do you think they can get back to, say, $16? I absolutely think they can get back to $16. So just for example, to go from, say, $10 to say $16, that's a 60+% jump. Okay, so again, cut my number in half. Say it only goes up to, say, 13 or 14. I definitely think it's an easy buy and hold for, say, 6 months or whenever it is. It hits that tripwire of that $13. You log in 30% growth and you sell at that point. If you're like, hey, I'm a little shy, a little hesitant. Either way, I think you're okay. However you want to look at it in that regard. Before I end on this part of the presentation, I want to show you this. I talked about this in my previous video where I talked about Nano. Is that Cathie Wood, obviously the CEO, CIO, creator of ARK Funds, ARK Invest. I want to show you what they own. This is a great comment. She said, quote, "We are always looking for where the defense is putting their money, the defense industry." So again, they bought in and they own it in 2 of their funds. So the ARK Next Generation Internet Fund, ticker sign ARKW, owns over 5.8 million shares worth $45.8 million. In this fund, the ARKQ owns over 7.1 million, worth $54.4 million. It's probably gone up since this, obviously, when this article was written. But they have over $100 million in this stock, and I think that they're, again, Cathie Wood. If you're not familiar with her, you definitely should be. This is an overall very good bellwether, in my opinion, of where other people are putting their money, and I firmly believe in kind of following that and at least looking and saying, okay, this is a very smart group of people over at ARK. They've got money in this as well, which is another reason I think this is a great stock. So a few final thoughts I really want to wrap up with this is that I think I wanted to redo this video because I wanted you to understand that I firmly believe that Nano is a really great company, great products, ground floor opportunity, very financially stable with a tremendous amount of money on their balance sheet. Ground floor opportunity as far as the industry, 3.4 million in sales in 2020. Emerging technology, disruptor technology. Their technology is going to go in and disrupt other older, not as good companies in technology. And again, remember, like, their technology replaces rooms of other competitors' products. I always like and look for anything kind of like that. Very strong defense contracts going into where the defense is. Looking at all of the different metrics. Not a lot of analysts covering this right now. That's not really a big deal to me per se. Analysts covering, not covering. I think that this is a very good stock, and I think that if you look at it kind of worst case, buy it at 10, you're getting it on the ground floor opportunity related to that. And if you're looking for, say, a 30% gainer, I think that that's an easy one. I think this is easily going to hit $13 or $14 inside of 6 months to a year, and high side could be 50 to 80% plus. This could be easily, I think, a $15 to $18 stock inside of a year or more, a little bit longer, depending upon how the NASDAQ flows and all that kind of stuff. Remember that the stock has already tested and hit that $16 range. I think that the stock got knocked on its butt because of the NASDAQ. The 3 to 4 weeks worth of bad, kind of the red time in the NASDAQ that we had. The stock reacted to that. It lost 54% of its value in that time frame. It's already gained back 33% of what it gave up, and it's just going to continue, I think, to go up. and buying it at $10 approximately, I think is a no-brainer. And this is a stock that definitely I think I'm going to pick up and add to my portfolio. I'll keep you guys updated on it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. This is a good one. I think you ought to take a look at it, and hopefully it's a good fit for you and you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing, become part of my community, as well as drop a like on this video if you would. It helps my channel, helps on videos, and just helps me to spread the word even more. Until next video, take care. I'll see you.